Here we are, she's Cuddly, Kitwana, with a special episode of Kitwana's Toys today, since today is National Mascot Day, as always on June 17th. And you may remember exactly 1 year ago when I already did a National Mascot Day special episode talking about my favorite National Hockey League mascot, Stanley C. Panther of the Florida Panthers. I showed you my Plush collection of him back then, and today I want to show you another mascot plushie, a plushie of my other favorite NHL mascot, and that is Bailey the Lion of the Los Angeles Kings. And you better believe that I have a piece of merchandise from Bailey as well. It is the largest and best plushie ever made of him, sold back in 2015, made by Forever Collectibles, and was available at the Team LA store in the Staples Center in Los Angeles during the home games, and that's where I actually got it back then for around $30. It's pretty hard to find decently sized plushies of NHL mascot, plushies that are decently sized and look more or less realistic. And I would say this plushie here definitely fits my needs. But before we start looking at this plushie in detail, some quick little information about Bailey. Bailey the Lion was introduced in 2007 as the LA Kings mascot, and he was named in honor of Garnet Bailey, which was one of the scouting directors of the Los Angeles Kings. And that same person unfortunately died in the events of 9/11. That's why Bailey is wearing his AM patch on his jersey in the design of the American flag. Really nice that they included the detail on this plushie as well. So Bailey is a 6 foot tall lion, to be exactly 6 foot and 4 inches, including the mane. And with that being said, we take a close look at his mane, and you can see there's a little plastic hook integrated into this plushie as well. Unfortunately, that plastic hook is too weak to hold the plushie. I tried this several times, and unfortunately the plastic hook bends in a way that the plushie always would fall off the hook. Unfortunately, since the plushie is too heavy and the hook is too weak. But the mane is a very, very nice quality. You can see it's a pretty nice accurate coloring. And you can see Bailey has little ears that are almost completely covered by the mane. And then let's take a look at his eyes, and I discovered something interesting. This plushie is constructed in an interesting way, at least his eyes. Actually, the top part of his eyes have been furred over, and you can actually lift that fur up a little bit, and then you discover that Bailey actually has much friendlier eyes than what you can assume from just looking at this plush. Now that's interesting. I guess with a little talent you could cut that fur away and then you have a friendlier Bailey. But if we look at the real Bailey, then you can see Bailey is definitely more on the fierce side when it comes to his face and eye design. But Bailey is, of course, deep in his heart, a very, very friendly lion. I really, really like what he does in the community, and he's super child friendly, of course. I have a very high respect for what these mascots do on and off the ice in the community, especially. And let's continue looking at this Plush. You can see it has a black nose. So, the fur is of a very good quality. As I said, almost a bit too long. And you can see 4 teeth. And you can also see a red tongue, so that's really nice. And it comes rather close to the real Bailey. It's by far not an exact 3D model of Bailey, but definitely close enough. Let's check out his jersey that he's wearing. I already showed you the AM pads honoring the actually 2 staff members of the LA Kings that got killed during the events of 9/11. And he also has the LA Kings logo that was in use back in 2015 on their black jerseys. And what's really, really nice compared to the recent Stanley C. Panther Plush that I have is that Bailey's jersey is completely embroidered. So all the logos and also the shoulder numbers that you can see are embroidered, and they are made to last. And they also use the original font that the LA Kings used for the number characters. That's really, really nice to see. Then we go down his pants and look at his oversized shoes. You cannot take off the shoes, these are a part of the fabric. And his right foot features an embroidered NHL logo as well. That's a nice touch. And then we'll take a look at Bailey from the back. Look at that big mane. You can actually brush it very well. You can brush it and comb it and make sure Bailey looks like a fine, fierce lion all the time. I can see he's got his name and the number 72 embroidered on. Both are in the correct font. And do you know why he has been assigned the number 72? That's easy, because 72 degrees is the year-round average temperature in Los Angeles. And then when you go down, you can see his tail sticks out of his pants and ends in a brown tuft. The tail is actually stuffed. And you could basically take off his jersey and his pants, however they are secured with a thread onto his body. So you would basically need to cut this thread, and it looks like I shall do this eventually, because one of the downsides is that the especially the jersey seems to get dirt over time. However, the fabric feels very nice, actually pretty heavy. And actually, let's lift up his jersey so we can find the tag. And there you can see this was distributed by Forever Collectibles and made in some Chinese factory, of course. And last but not least, let's look, or let's listen respectively, to Bailey's coolest feature. Bailey actually can roar. He can roar like a lion, and all you need to do for this is to squeeze his belly like this. And then with each touch on the sound module that you can feel in the right, actually in the left half of his chest, he gives you 3 roars. Let's listen to them again. Nice work, Bailey. That's a really cool feature of this plushie. Oh. The roars are not too loud, not too annoying, even if you should have a child that is constantly playing with it. And actually the batteries needed for the roaring function are not replaceable. You would basically need to cut open his body in order to access the sound module. I'm pretty sure it's powered by a simple button cell battery, and this plushie is now 6 years old and the battery still holds up, so it does work quite a few years. And I told you that Bailey has just the right size, and that is 15 inches, around 39 centimeters, measuring from the ground up to the top of his mane. So hopefully you get an idea of his rather big size when I hold Bailey next to me. He is just perfect, not only to keep him at home, for example as a bedtime plushie, but also he is not too big, just right to take him along to a game, and of course let him roar whenever the Kings score a goal. Oh, you're cute, Bailey. Unfortunately, he cannot stand and he cannot sit either. See, while it is flexible, it cannot hold any pose, so it can only lay down like this. I've tried with a doll stand, but unfortunately he would not even stand on a doll stand because he constantly tips over his legs like this. So would have been nice if they included a wire armature into his legs, so you could at least make him sit like this. But other than that, this is a very high quality plushie. You rarely find that among NHL Mascot plushies, and unfortunately it's no longer available. As said, I got this back in 2015 for around $30 in the LA Kings fan shop at the home game, and I tried looking for it and can't find it on eBay or Amazon anymore, not even on the secondary market, which is too bad, but hopefully once live NHL games are back with fans in attendance, hopefully they will release a new Bailey plushie, or they simply re-release the one they already had a couple of years ago, since this is a really great product, perfect for the LA Kings fan, and of course even more perfect if you love sports mascots. And now we can only hope they'll eventually find a new performer for Bailey that is as gifted and as talented as the one they had since Bailey basically was born. Unfortunately, he was let go because of an very unfortunate incident that I do not want to explain any further on here on this child-friendly channel. As I said, it was very unfortunate that they had to let him go, and I can only hope there will be a new person breathing new life into Bailey. His social media, especially his Twitter account, was world class as well. It was pretty funny to follow him along, even during the off season. Bailey was one of the most active mascots, both in the community and online, and it's a big loss that his original performer isn't anymore. But since LA is full of actors, I hope they will find a worthy replacement for him, and I cannot wait for Bailey to appear again at games and in the public. And I cannot wait for the next episode of Kitwana's Toys either, which will be next week on Saturday as usual again. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Bailey and I say goodbye.